Hi Libra, welcome to your August 2017 love reading. It's Raina here. Okay. Okay, wonderful. It's interesting. I got two of the same cards. They're spiritual. The Sagittarius in a different position, one of them. Okay, so the overall theme is the Ten of Wands. In a love reading, what I tend to see is one party, and I would think it's you, trying too hard in a relationship, trying to make something work. This is a card of being burdened, you know, taking on a heavy load. And I tend to think of somebody who is doing the heavy lifting in a relationship. This is, of course, not uncommon in relationships where one person is really doing a lot of the making plans, just keeping the relationship afloat. Maybe if you're not living with that person, contacting them all the time, and they're not doing the same for you. And it's not about keeping books and one person's doing this, one person isn't doing that. It's about looking at the commitment and the desire of that person. Sometimes you may see, speaking of desire, that it's like when you really like strip down what's happening, that person may only contact you when they want a booty call, you know, or something like that, when they're coming over expecting a physical relationship, not necessarily the other things that go along with it. And the wands do connect with sexual passion. So it's worth noting that this could be the dynamic of what is happening. In the past position, we have the King of Wands. So we have more fire. This could actually be the person I'm talking about. It could be a literal fire sign. Aries is the usual suspect because it's the opposite sign to you and tends to be what, you know, the polar opposites tend to attract to each other, but also Leo and Sagittarius. I don't know which fire sign this connects to. I would say just on the face of things it would be a Leo, but I don't know. But this could even be a boss, or it could be your the father of your child. And you may think, like if it is, let's say it is the father of your child, you could think, well, we have a child together and that is going to cement our relationship, and it didn't work. You know, of course that happens as well, where people think that simply being, you know, having that in common means that they're going to sustain a relationship, but it doesn't work that way, does it? You know what I was just thinking? If it was your boss, maybe your boss is having you work overtime, and maybe it's not even a sexual thing, but you're working overtime and you have no social life. But if that's the case, I think you're going to be moving on. This is about a card of moving on. Now, in any context, if this is about moving on because you're not emotionally satisfied in that situation, you're not getting your emotional needs met. And you may be going towards something that is more satisfying. And I'm wondering if any of you have met a Cancer individual, because I get water and I get Cancer in this reading. So we have here as the higher message the Nine of Cups. And I just got this for another sign. I said this is like winning the emotional lottery, because the Nine of Cups is a card of having your wishes fulfilled. It's a card of happiness. I mean, in a way, I would say it's the minor arcana companion to the Sun card in the major arcana. It's a card of happiness. It's a very auspicious, positive card. And so in relationships, in the spiritual position, it's saying, hang in there, because either you're going to meet somebody or you have met somebody who is more of your type, of what you're looking for. And you were trying so hard with this other person, and it wasn't working. And now you've met somebody, or you're going to meet somebody who is what you're looking for. So don't despair. You're going to have even though you left this relationship and you may be sad about that, you're going to be happy very, very soon. Or, well, I don't know about very soon, but in the near future. And what crosses you is the Hermit card. And this is a card of searching within, being alone. Libra is a very social sign, so you may be kind of distracting yourself by being around other people if you've left somebody to try to fill that void. But actually, you would even do better being by yourself. You don't have to isolate yourself, but spending some time alone and really thinking about what happened in that situation and looking at it from the point of view of what could have you done differently, not about what they did. But what could you have done differently? Did you see all the signs? Is it possible that this person was very transparent in some way in how they were behaving, that you could have seen that they were not, they didn't have that kind of serious intention of perhaps being in a relationship? Maybe they were just using you in some way, sexually, and you made more of it than it was. And maybe you could have seen the signs, but you chose not to for some reason. And there's nothing to, beat yourself up over if that's the case. So the card for the near future, or the advice, is the Chariot. So for some people, this is coming in. For some people, you need to do this. This could be someone coming in who is a Cancer. This card connects to Cancer. But it's also about grabbing the reins of the horse so that you dictate what it is that you charge towards your goal. And you're doing so with one point in mind. That's what this symbolizes. The idea of the Chariot being out of control. I think it might be from the Bhagavad Gita, I'm not sure. But the idea that the chariot is driving, or the horse is driving the chariot, and the person has no control over where they're going. This is the problem. This is what meditation is all about, is learning how to be more one-pointed with whatever it is that you're doing, and not to allow your mind to run off on a wild goose chase, or even your emotions, your heart. Because Librans, it's natural for you to want a partner. You rule the 7th house of partnership, committed partnership, including marriage. So that's part of who you are. But some Librans make their partner the center of their existence, and that is where things get lopsided. So I go back to that 10 of Wands, about doing that heavy lifting, trying to keep a relationship afloat, and it's one-sided. And whenever you feel like you're doing all of the work, and then you get resentful and passive aggressive, but it's like you have to examine your role in this. And that's why I was talking about the Hermit, is about you seeing what patterns you have. You know, when I do private readings, I'm much more interested in patterns than predictions. To me, predictions are like, okay, this is going to happen, and this implies that people don't have to change their ways. They can just wait and sit there, and things will just drop in their lap magically. And I don't feel like life happens that way. Yeah, sometimes things that are pleasant seem like they are dropped in our laps, and that's always cool. But I think for the most part, we have to engage life. We have to take action. And as a cardinal sign, I don't think you have a problem with that. It's just that you may not know what action to take. You may be drawn in many different directions. And so it's important to get clear. That's what the Hermit card is about. And even this outcome card is a card of connecting with your higher self. Becoming more spiritual. If you know that you tend to be more active in the world and maybe trying to find your security in the world, in other people, to learn how to rely more on yourself and your, you know, your personal insights that come through meditation and contemplation and even just alone time. I mean, you don't even have to be sitting there contemplating your navel. You can just be by yourself, and the opinions of others are getting drowned out by your own inner dialogue, which is very important, especially for a Libran, because you tend to seek out other people's opinions about your life. And, you know, once in a while that may be very helpful, but on a regular basis, it can lead you to not have a core self, you know, where you are just kind of like the a compilation of other people's opinions of you. And that's not what you are. You have your own distinct soul, your own distinct, what do you call it, goals, spiritual goals, material goals, and destiny. So that is what you should be focusing on, especially at this time. And I think that you will hit that emotional jackpot. So Libra, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an awesome August. Bye.